We need to test clear, objective KPIs, speed, the duration of the process, who does what. Then we start launching the processes of the what we call POC internally.
Today in the studio is Jonathan Kalfa, Head of Innovation at Baloise. Among other things, he coordinates the Innovation Lab, a hub that kind of allows him to create innovative business solutions, and he's also very involved in supporting the local startup scene. Jonathan, thank you for coming to the studio.
Thank you, John, for having me.
First, can you tell me a little bit about your role at Baloise?
So my role at Baloise is basically designing new products and services, trying to solve internal challenges with the business and developing and fostering innovation mindset within the company.
And in terms of startups, how exactly are you involved with startups and how does it align with the company mission and goals?
So basically what we are trying to do is, as I mentioned, when we try to solve an internal challenge, we try and look in the environment if there is a startup that solves that needs, whether it be technologically or whether it be with insight that they have that we don't. So we try to partner with them to accelerate and boost our process for developing new services and products or solving our internal challenges.
So once you've identified an interesting startup, how does the procedure work? So how do you contact them and how do you engage with them once you contact them?
So basically it's a twofold process. There is the fact that if we have identified a challenge internally, then we are looking into the environment to identify the startup that could have the solution to our problem. So to do that, we do scouting, and so we have partnerships with Plug and Play, for instance, that scout all the Europe for startups. We have good partnerships with the House of Startup of Loic, Luxembourg Open Innovation Club, where we get access and contact with those startups. So the first step is identifying those startups. Another way could be that we get contacted by the startups spontaneously, and then we see if they could solve something we need to solve internally. So this could be from other industries. It doesn't really matter. The question is, can you translate what has been done at other places in our organization? So that's just for the aspect of identifying the startups. Mm-hmm. Then we start a process where we list all the objective of the learning. So hypothesis, we need to test clear, objective KPIs, speed, the duration of the process, who does what. Then we start launching the processes of the what we call POC internally.
Okay, and once you've gone through all of this process, are there any interesting startups that you're working with currently, and could you describe a little bit what they do?
So currently we are working, for instance, to improve customer experience. We have a partnership with a startup called Hello Brain, mm-hmm. which was nominated at the ACA Open Innovation. Mm-hmm. What they do is they have a technology of speech to text. So when you call the call center, for instance, you have a speech to text analysis of the sentiment, and this helps us gather insight on the customer's feedback. And we try to listen more to the customers and understand their needs so that we can develop new products and services or improve our customer journey.
Okay. Another companies that you have?
Yeah, we also have Rock Estate, which is a Belgium startup. So what they do is just based on an address mm-hmm. That you type in on the web page, they get they build a 3D model of the building that you are in. So this helps our agent when the customer calls and give them the address. They have a lot of information about the building that they don't have to ask to the customer again, and then it also helps them to identify if there are some risk, and then they can engage the customer in a better way.
So when you kind of do a landscape analysis of the startup community, looking into the future, what do you think is going to be the most promising area that you also plan to work with in the future?
I think developing new products and services in Luxembourg for the Luxembourgish market is a bit difficult because you have a relatively small country with a segmented population, so it's hard to, regarding IT cost, if you needed to develop them alone, it would be hard to do that. But okay. If you look at what we have in terms of financial services, we have knowledge about insurance, banking, and so we know the problems that the industry is facing, so this could help us develop a solution in that matter. So I'm looking at AI, for instance, in that field could have a very big leverage. Another subject that we are exploring is also Gen Z to new generation that are coming up, and
meaning that you want to involve the Generation Z?
Yeah, to understand the way they behave, the product that they contract in terms of insurance, the way they subscribe insurance products. So we actually build a partnership with MoveMe, which is a Luxembourgish startup specialized in relocating students in the university.
Yeah, I heard of them, yeah.
And also, I was speaking about AI, for instance. We are discussing with Lingua Custodia, which is specialized in analyzing financial document and machine learning activities in there. So I think those two areas in terms of customer segment and technology, this is where we are looking at in the close future.
And do you usually, so how do you support or engage with the startups in terms of, I think you mentioned it before, they provide you with skills that you don't necessarily have, but you have the structure to move them a little bit forward and, in their advancement. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. So what we do is, first of all, we provide money, which is essential to them. We also provide brand equity, with the support of a big corporate is also important for startups in terms of reinsuring their customer. And also, more importantly, at Baloise we are a group, so we have access to Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, other markets in Europe. So this is kind of a gateway, a potential gateway to other markets. And we've done that before with a startup called Imopass. Initially we started a discussion in Luxembourg, and Belgium ended up investing in seed in the startup.
Jonathan, thank you for coming to the studio.
Thank you.